Hey, what's up ladies and gentlemen, it is I am the one and only Sonic the Hedgehog here, and I'm back for some more yet again for the likes of the Maxi Toys videos. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back for some more of Let's Play of Donkey Kong Country 3, Dixie Kong's Double Trouble for the Super Nintendo, as well as the forms of the Game Boy Advance as a remake. So, last time we basically managed to complete the forms of the fourth world in the game, which is Cotton Top Cove. And yeah, today for this episode is the fact that we are moving on to the fifth world in the game, known as K3. And I believe this does manage to take place in a winter summit kind of syndrome or something. So either way though, yeah, let's hop right into the forms of K3. And the first level we're going to be hitting into is Curvers or Curvus Keepers. I think that's what the level itself is called anyway. This particular level right here, we might able to introduce into ourselves another level theme. That's what appears to be the cliff, kind of like level theme. And honestly, I'm not too crazy with these particular level themes like this, along with the forms of the waterfall levels, because, well, suffice to say, I think getting these bonus areas in these kinds of levels will be a bit of a pain, especially noticeable if you're trying to desperately want to find them. And as a result, there's going to be a lot of emphasis on the forms of backtracking most of the time, so... Anyways, the first bonus area is just right here. It's going to have to watch out for this particular familiar enemy from ever since during the forms of Cotton Top Cove, except the fact that they behave a lot more tougher this time around, as opposed to the likes of the previous level with these guys. And as a result, though, that it seems it's kind of easy to able to dodge them if you're able to actually use Dixie Kong throughout the whole thing. So, yeah, you probably get the idea about that specific topic. So, yeah, today's day is, of course, the 19th of August today, in this case in 2021 today. And, remember when I mentioned this ever since in Tuesday, that we've already mentioned about the fact that New Super Mario Bros. 2 has already been out for about 9 years ago in the UK releases? Well, today, that North American version of the release of New Super Mario Bros. 2 is also 9 years old recently today. So it's like this week is more accurately like a double celebration of any sorts between the forms of two different regions with the release of New Super Mario Bros. 2. So yeah, that seems kind of cool and everything, despite most people find New Super Mario Bros. 2 to be one of the weakest entries of the New Super Mario Bros. Games, clearly because of the lack of difficulty and also that it's way too easy for the most part. So it kind of does the same thing for Super Monkey Ball 3D and stuff like that. So anyways, here's my favorite part, and that is the fact that you can able to do this trick if you're having a hard time trying to able to figure out how to get that DK coin. But you know what I mean, I've always been like a super fast running hedgehog, so I figure I was able to try to do this the actual quickest way to do this, because I was normally trying to able to do this as in a normal attempt, but I just have no idea how I'm supposed to do it normally. But either way though, it knows what it stands out to be, so... And also you have to be ridiculously fast on these parts because, well, you just really don't want to get hit by these guys, so... Anyways, I believe the next bonus area is going to be over there, and you do need to acquire Kitty Kong to able to toss Dixie Kong up there, so that way we can able to, well, go right straight into the forms of the second bonus area, so... Oh boy, this is where things gets a bit tricky right there, but luckily I did manage to survive here, so that should be good to go for me. So, yeah, everything else goes all fine together, so... Oh gosh, this is where things gets a bit tricky at this point. Yeah, because, exponentially speaking, it's just the fact that, well, at this point in time, that we're pretty much at the halfway point of this game, although, if you really want to count the forms of the Game Boy Advance version of the game, that, I'm pretty sure that that particular version of the game does have an exclusive world, which it only happens on the Game Boy Advance version, which, originally, I was able to actually just try to show you guys the exclusive world from the Game Boy Advance version, but unfortunately though that's not going to happen due to time constraints and everything else to be more specific, so unfortunately though there won't be any Game Boy Advance videos for that point, so yeah, it's kind of sad honestly, even though I would like to able to show you guys what the actual exclusive world looks like for the Game Boy Advance versions, but unfortunately though I don't seem to be able to have enough time to do so, I'm afraid. But from now on, we're pretty much gonna still stick around with the original normal versions of the game, so yeah, you probably get the idea. So we actually are 52% done. So yeah, we're now on the halfway point of the game. So yeah, everything else goes all fine and dandy. So alright, so let's move on to the next level, which is Tear Away Polygon. I think that's what the actual, or Toboggan, I think that's what the level itself is called anyway. Even though, mind you, it's been about 2 days ago since I actually last touched this game, just because obviously that, you know, Mighty and Ray are still working on Super Mario 3D World plus Bowser's Fury, specifically the Super Mario 3D World portion of the game, although until in Bowser's Fury mode, that we'll let some toys else can able to actually just to deal with, well, just any other discussions for that point. So, and once again, we're going back onto a toboggan, well, at least ever since the sewer pipe level, which ever since in the third world that we actually did done. And this level might be a bit tricky as well, just because you have to do it with a lot of emphasis on timing and everything. But thankfully, towards the end of the level, that once again, the coin enemy is always going to be at the very end of the level. So, at least there's nothing to worry about the forms of, you know, if you're about to be missing on something. So, thankfully, the first bonus area was actually at the beginning of the level, thankfully. Because all you have to do is just basically, you have to aim it at the bottom right corner cannon blast. And that way, you would be able to actually find your way to able to get the first bonus area. So, and the second bonus area, I believe, is actually going to be further on in the level. So, but unfortunately, I did manage to die right there. But thankfully, we've actually got ourselves our midway point. So, thankfully, we can able to continue where we left off, so. And by that point, I think we've almost able to actually just try to collect quite enough of those bear coins until we're able to get ourselves the next item, which appears to be the mirror. So hopefully we would be able to get a chance by doing that, so. And there's the next bonus area right there, which I normally try to able to actually just get hit and then lose Dixie Kong in the process, but thankfully, thanks to the invincibility frames, that I can simply manage to get into this bonus area with no sweat. So, yeah, that should be all cool and everything. So, and there's the last jump there, and there we go. But before we finish the level, there's the steel barrel right there, and we have to make our way all the way to the right and get ourselves our next DK hero coin. So, there we go, level completed. It wasn't all that hard, but it's just that it can be felt a bit tricky at times, so there we go. So let's move on to Barrel Drop Bounce. Oh boy, it's another one of those waterfall levels, isn't it? Yeah, I thought so as well, because I can definitely tell that we are, you know, as I said before, we are once again going back into our waterfall levels, which, I must be honest, I'm still not a big fan of these kinds of levels, because, well, I think this one might actually be kind of annoying though, because of all the timing requirements you have to do. And plus, this particular level does remind me of a little bit from the likes of the Jungle Zone from Sonic the Hedgehog 1, for Sega Game Gear, as well as the Sega Master System, because obviously we have to scale up on the actual waterfalls by trying to utilize one of those platforms. Or to be more specifically in this game is the fact that you have to navigate through these barrels as platforms, so. Yeah, and again, if you somehow accidentally fall off, then you're gonna have to do the entire climb-a-thon all over again, which it won't be that fun at all if you keep messing things up, so. Yeah, that pretty much summarizes such and stuff like that, so. So yeah, I believe that we've only got about 12 more days to go until specifically we are moving on to the 9th month, which appears to be September. So yeah, we are pretty much getting close towards the end of the forms of, well, I won't necessarily say pretty much gone closer towards the end of 2021 just yet though, because obviously we still got, you know, we're still in August, and eventually we'll hit on to September, and then October afterwards, and November, and December, and then pretty much guarantee about the fact that we'll move on to 2022. In this case, another big year for Nintendo Switch releases by that time, especially because obviously in 2022, they will definitely get The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild sequel, if eventually that particular release date will be finalized. Or especially noticeable, they're able to actually give the actual game a title, and especially noticeable with the well, Splatoon 3, Mario plus Rabbids Sparks of Hope, and all sorts of other titles as well. So even then though, because we were able to notice that some people seem to say that 2022 is a spiritual sequel to 2017 when it comes to several of Nintendo Switch library system or the lineup of the actual games releases. Because obviously, you know, in 2017 we've got, you know, The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild and also Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle, as well as Splatoon 2. So, I wonder if we might be able to actually still... Well, it's all about speculations at the moment, but I was really hoping that Mario Kart 9 will be the thing, which I think most people keep on about it, especially noticeable about the fact that we haven't got a brand new numbered installment Mario Kart game since 2014, originally in the Wii U, but then it was ported over to the Switch to make it a much more of a better experience overall, especially noticeable that, you know, that game has been selling like hot pancakes at the moment. So yeah, it's like, you know, that game is still doing so well for the selling points department, like certainly a lot more than the well, any other Mario Kart games for sure. So that seems pretty top notch. So anyways, here's Perry the bird companion again, so God knows why we're able to bring him here, but I have no idea. But at least thankfully we did manage able to find 2 of those bonus areas that we found, but we haven't found the DK Hero coin yet though, but I will have to admit though, once we're done with the first attempt at this level, then we can probably... no. Okay, good. Thankfully, we haven't got too far back, though, because thankfully with Dixie's ponytail as a helicopter ability, this makes things a bit easier, so... Anyway, though... Oh, Jesus, no... Okay. Oh, you see what I mean with those waterfall levels like this? This is kind of an annoying thing for me. Now is the fact that if you manage able to collide with the actual edge of that specific little edge thingy right there, that as you notice I keep on slipping on, the only bugging thing about this is for me is that sometimes you don't able to actually just able to, assuming if you don't jump at the right time, and then next you notice is the fact that you won't easily get slipped, and then you have to fall all the way back down again, so yeah, that's kind of annoying. But anyways, let's head back into this level again, and hopefully we'll try to find the DK Hero coin. I believe, if I recall correctly, it's going to be at the very beginning of the level, so, but first of all, we need to grab that bear coin just in case for, you know, the next item we can get. And rather than going to the left, instead we have to go to the right as... Okay, good. Thankfully we're safe. So, and there's that coin enemy over there. And we got to do a bit of a clever thinking going on here once again. So hopefully we would be able to actually succeed by this. So... let's see. No, I did not meant to do that. I meant to throw it upwards. But thankfully, though, just like, you know, just like in Donkey Kong Country 1 and Donkey Kong Country 2, that if you do somehow manage to able to actually succeed for some secrets, then if you manage to able to obtain something like this, thankfully, if you complete the level just once, then you can press the start button and press the select button until you're able to go back to the world map. So... yeah, that's pretty simple and self-explanatory right there, so yeah, something's well classified for noticing this, so... Now, I suppose another thing I should probably explain about this as well is the fact that, usually, I think, relatively speaking, I think Mighty and Ray are pretty much almost done with the Super Mario 3D World portion of, well, Super Mario 3D World plus Bowser's Fury. So as a result, though, they've only got about a couple of parts to go, and, well... at the moment, they've pretty much done with World Castle already, and by that time until tomorrow, they're pretty much going to move on to the next world, which is World Bowser, in this case the final main world in Super Mario 3D World, although they still got some extra stuff coming up, especially noticeable, remember in the forms of our Wii U playthrough of the game, Super Mario 3D World, then there's going to be still more content to go through, so... yeah, anyway, though, and, yeah, that's pretty much as far as I can say about it. Alright, so here's the next level in the game, known as, Rack Shot Croc, and this appears to be we're going back into the machine kind of environment, and, we're actually going to be taking control of the forms of that familiar, you know, fellow again, at least ever since in, you know, the previous levels, well, to be more specifically, since, I would classify for saying ever since in the previous, level, which is Fireball Frenzy, but now he's back again, but, you know, with, Squitter the Spider, that, he can able to actually just to do with a lot of stuff to do throughout the whole level. So, yeah, that's why I classify that for something. So, oh yeah, here's the main gimmick of this level, and that is the fact that we have to do it the forms of trying to dodge this lock-on cursor. Because if he's just trying to able to aim at you, then you got to be sure you need to dodge that, or even protect yourself from that particular shields in the actual foreground. So, that might seems pretty useful though, especially noticeable you really don't get hit a lot for the sake of this level, but, yeah, you just got to watch out for it. Oh, and speaking of another one of those Game Boy Advance exclusive stuff, there was actually a bear that was only appeared on the Game Boy Advance version, and that's what appears to be, Bianco, or Bachelor, I think that's what the actual name of the bear was. And basically, that I think he wants to able to actually have roses, and then basically he wants both a rose and a box of chocolates, which I'm assuming those two items for the side quests are also exclusive to the Game Boy Advance version. So because of that, although speaking of the Game Boy Advance version, where it comes to those bears designs, I'm not too keen on those designs in the Game Boy Advance re-releases, or the Game Boy Advance remake with that particular bear's design. I much rather prefer the Super Nintendo counterparts, just because it looks a little bit more, well, detailed and all that stuff. Even though there are some graphical washouts and all that stuff when it comes to graphical standpoints. Again, I'm just a bit too nitpicking for the most part, but regardless of everything else though, is the fact that, well, usually I think the Super Nintendo version is the key factor for this point. I did not meant to able to do that, but thankfully we've got ourselves a midway point, so that was my mistake. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention about this ever since the very beginning of this Let's Play, just because I got distracted by other things. Remember when I mentioned this before about the fact that once you complete the level, that, basically you do have, like, a few different kinds of flags that it shows up when you complete the level. Like, for instance, if there was actually a yellow flag, which means that actually represents you actually got a DK hero coin, and then if it shows us, like, a pink flag, that actually represents you've completed the stage with Dixie Kong, and if you do manage to complete the level with Kiddy Kong, it will actually show us a blue flag. So, and as far as I'm aware, that's the reason why that you notice on certain flags is actually all the way up. That's only representing with how the fact that you actually obtain every single bonus areas. So, like, in order able to actually get your flag all the way higher up with, depending on what specific Kong you use, basically that you would be able to actually, okay, that was close, that basically you have to find every single bonus areas in order able to get your flag all the way higher up. So, that's the key factor about this as far as I'm aware. So, anyway, so let's go towards, oh goodness gracious, that was extremely close, but hey, at least we can able to create some more spiderwebs as platforms, and we have to do it very carefully before we don't die from those particular incoming fireballs and such. And here's another bonus area. Now this bonus area is actually kind of fun, is that you can able to take control of the actual fire cursor. That way you can deal with enemies from there. So yeah, that seems a pretty unique bonus area in the game, just because, well, rather than take control of the character, you can able to take control of the actual fireball gun cursor, which it's pretty satisfying if you manage to able to try to do it at the right time, because it's all about timing as well. So as a result though, yeah, that seems pretty awesome. Oh yeah, another thing is worth noting for, back in the forms of what I said this earlier, from the very beginning of this video, that I mentioned this before about the fact that, yeah, New Super Mario Bros. 2 has now been out for 9 years now for North America. I can't even believe it's been about 9 years ago since when that game first came out, in 2012, during in summer. Although originally, back in the day, they were going to call it New Super Mario Bros. Gold, but it turns out it renamed it New Super Mario Bros. 2, which I was like, okay, that seems like a weird choice for the sake of that renamed and stuff like that. Although, gonna think about it though, let me know in the comments below for the question of the day. After likely for 9 years ago, what do you think about the forms of New Super Mario Bros. 2 for the Nintendo 3DS? Specifically, since that game has now been out for 9 years ago now, so yeah, I guess the only things left is New Super Mario Bros. U for the Wii U version, most likely, so... yeah, that pretty much explains about that. So, anyways, now let's go ahead and go for the sign, and once again the barrel will show up, and deal with the coin enemy, and there we go. But again, if you mess this up, then you have to try the level again, or just simply you have to able to, like, well, you know what I'm saying, just trying to restart the whole level again, so... anyway, so that's that level done. Before we, yeah, I think we should probably move on to the next level, so... Linguine Launch. Oh, I know what this level's all about. Although, before we get into more details about this level, we need to get out Kitty Kong out of the DK barrel and switch it over, and hopefully we'll find, right from the get-go, the first bonus area. And basically we have to find a coin, and that's pretty much about it. And this is what the main emphasis on this, and then we switch over to Dixie Kong, because I get the feeling, yep, we have to dodge those specific Linguines in order to able to pass this part. And I think the main gimmick of this level is all about Linguines coming out of the hole. So, yeah, that's the entire purpose of this level's gimmick is all about, so... yeah, it's not too hard of a level. Well, it wasn't until whenever we move on to the next world that... I must be honest here, I'm not looking forward to whenever we get into the next world, because for what I've noticed on certain, like, Donkey Kong Country 3 playthroughs, like, it doesn't matter if it's on the Game Boy Advance or the Super Nintendo versions of the game, I'm pretty sure that one of those levels might able to give people a lot of frustration in one of the levels until the next world, but... then again, we'll talk more about it until whenever we get into next Tuesday, so... anyways, thankfully we've got the midway point, so yeah, that's as far as I can, and that's what I get for able to, like, doing almost flawlessly. But hopefully we'll try this again. But, yeah, because basically, what I was trying to say about this is that, well, good lord! What's wrong with me today? Okay, let's try this again for the third time in a row for that particular segment that I was hoping I can able to go through. So, yeah, and by the way, we've already dealt with the coin enemy right there, so if you want to know what really happens, then it's actually pretty easy to deal with. Oh jeez, that was really close, because there was actually a bottomless pit down there. Oh, screw you. Okay, whatever. At least we got an extra life back after several failed attempts for that. Oh my god! Okay. Just need to concentrate, and there's the last bonus area just right down there. And boom, there we go. And it's once again collecting stars again, so... and while we're at it though... oh god! I totally forgot about these guys. But hopefully, we should be able to succeed these, but... oh jeez, sometimes jumps can be a bit picky at points, but there we go. I just realized we got up to 51 bonus coins right now, which is, well, quite a lot at the moment. So, yeah, we are... oh, dang it, okay. I'm hoping, yep, the end of the level's just right there. Whew! That was a close one. Especially that we almost gonna get ourselves screwed over by then, so... anyways, let's head over here and manage to meet up with this little bear here, which I think he'll give us a birthday present, which that particular present is going to be belong to Blue. And we'll tackle more about that whenever we finish this world first. So, before we move on to the boss level, first of all, let me just save my game quickly before we're able to take on the next boss throughout the game. Even though it's actually kind of a fun boss fight, but it might be pretty tricky if you ever first time you play in the game, so... anyway, so it looks like there's actually that familiar jungle hijinks theme in the background, so yeah, and I'm pretty sure that Swanky Kong is actually asleep, so... anyways, let's pop over to see Swanky Kong quickly, just because I probably need to get myself some even more bear coins until whenever we get ourselves our next item. In fact, the next item I might as well go for is the fact that that will be the final purchasable item before we're able to move on to the next few side quests, if we're about to decide to go after those, you know, remainings of the actual banana birds and stuff like that. Even though originally I was going to show this particular Swanky Kong games just once, but I think I'm also able to do it like 2 more times, specifically 1 time if we hopefully will get enough bear coins for the sake of time. But at the very least, thankfully, you can able to actually just to save your progress on if you manage to leave the level and stuff like that, which I'll show one of these levels until, well, as soon as we deal with the actual world first. So yeah, because from now on, we're pretty much going to be playing through Race to 25 at the moment, so it looks like I did manage to conquer it all. So, because, you know, I'm quite a fast button presser and stuff like that, so give me my bunch of bananas, as well as 4 more bear coins, and I believe we've only got 5 more bear coins to go, so anyways, Bleak's House. Kind of a weird name for the actual boss level. So, I believe the next boss in the game, which appears to be Bleak the Snowman himself. And this boss is actually kind of a fun one, because remember that Swanky Kong game that we've already played earlier ago? Well, this is basically that, except we have to face off against with a snowball fight against with the forms of Bleak the Snowman. So, yeah, it's a kind of a fun boss fight though, especially noticeable it did something a bit different, as opposed to the ones how it does it on a traditional, like, jumping on the actual boss and stuff like that. But it can be pretty tricky though, especially until later on. So basically, you notice with that particular blue dot, as you saw, that actually indicates that how much distance of the throwing the snowballs you have to aim for. So like, for instance, that Bleak the Snowman is almost gonna come closer to us, and basically you have to let that blue dot get into the actual center segment that as you see on screen. And if he goes a bit further away, like he was about to be doing, well, not now, but until later on, then you have to press the directional pad up to able to adjust the aiming. So, yeah, sometimes it might take a while to get used to with this boss fight when you get the hang of it though, but at least thankfully you're still able to actually get yourselves a DK barrel before you start the fight, if you somehow already lost Dixie Kong to begin with. So anyways, here we go with this last phase. Now, I think to me the last phase is actually kind of difficult because you have to be like super precise, especially noticeable that you have to be able to, like, you know, kind of be careful for that point. So alright, so we'll just throw this last snowball in, and he is done. And we're going back into even numbers when it comes to getting those bonus coins. So pretty awesome and swell stuff. Alright, so that pretty much concludes K3. So, actually, before we do anything else to be more specific for these side quests and everything, well, there's that little bear over there, which, basically he needs something specific, which means that we must get ourselves our mirror, and able to actually get ourselves our wretch, as in the actual item. So, for the time being, we'll try to able to actually play the Swanky Kong games for the final time for this playthrough, and because of that though, once we're done with that, by able to purchasing the final purchasable item, which is of course the mirror, then we're basically done with able to try to grab these bear coins. So, yeah, let's do Race to 25 again, because I think this is pretty easy if you manage to able to win these kinds of stuff like this, because I was expecting to able to pick, like, you know, head-to-head, but it might take a bit of a while to able to actually just to finish that particular mini-game and stuff, so. And by that time, that's once we get enough bear coins, then we can pretty much expect to able to get the mirror. So, again, to able to get the mirror, then you have to pay like 50 of those bear coins, and if you do get enough, then you would able to actually purchase the item, so. Alright, so I'm going to concentrate on here, so just in case I need to able to actually just get ourselves a very, very, very good concentration right there, so. Alright, so we're almost there, just only 4 more left, and hopefully that should able to do the trick. There we go, I win. Nicely swell stuff. Alright, so does that mean I can able to... Okay, so we got... Oh, just only 3 left, but that's okay, because there was actually a fastest way you can able to get even more bear coins easily. So let's head back into barrel drop bounce, or the barrel drop bounce level again. And because of that though, the bear coin is there from the get-go, and I can do this little simple trick by able to keep on pausing the game and pressing select to exit out the level, so thankfully I can save my progress for, you know, keeping the actual collectibles like so. Super useful though, unlike in New Super Mario Bros. Series, that you can't exit out the level, you have to finish the level, and it's especially noticeable in Sonic Advance 3, that you have to finish the level rather than exiting the level, so if you're trying to get the special stage key nonetheless, so it's a bit of a downside though. So anyways, now we've got 50 of those bear coins at the moment, and let's head over to that particular shop over towards, well, if I let go, thank you. So let's head back into the general store, Bazaar's general store, and basically we have to press down so that way we can able to select, is that the mirror option? And that way it tells you to able to actually buy the mirror, and if you manage to buy the mirror, then you should be all set. So we'll try to sort out these side quests to deal with first before we end off the video. So anyways, I believe let's head over back into Cotton Top Cove, because remember that particular birthday gift that we've actually got? Well, we need to give it to Blue, so just in case we're able to get ourselves our next item. So yeah, that should be all welcoming and everything. So yeah, we'll give him that. And once you give Blue the gift present, then he'll pretty much give us a bowling ball. Although this will be used for something, because if we head back into well, the previous worlds that we've already done, that's what appears to be, of course, this particular factory world, which is, of course, assuming if I was trying to get off, there we go. So if we go back into Mechanos, and if we talk to Bazooka here, then assuming if we're able to give him a bowling ball, that way we can able to now activate the cannon, and that way we can able to discover one of those secrets in this world. So, and I believe this will pretty much go take us to another cave, so blast it off to Sky High Secret. And that way we can get ourselves another banana bird. So once again we have to do a Simon Says kind of segment. I'm pretty sure I got this. I mean, usually it's kind of hard to concentrate though, because again, until whenever we get into the later caves, that it starts to get a lot difficult if you're trying to deal with all these Simon Says kind of segments. So there we go. So we got our next banana bird, so I think we should be good to go for this point. So now let's go ahead and exit off this world, and well, suffice to say, although before we end off the video, we need to do this last side quest for the sake of this video from now on, and we'll head over back into the forms of, well, the Barter's trade shop, and because since we got ourselves the familiar mirror, that means we can able to actually just get ourselves our reg. So yeah, there we go. I think we should be all set. So, suffice to say, I think we should probably end things off here. So join me next time for more of Let's Play of Donkey Kong Country 3. It's the fact that we are moving on to Razor Rage, which is perhaps one of my least favorite worlds in the game. Just in my opinion, because of that one level that it gives a lot of people troubles with. So I'll see you guys on Tuesday. Later, fellas.